We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go because we have to talk about the elections. It is time for a decision for Bitcoin, and the markets are awaiting it. So we want to have a quick stream here on seeing our current position in the market, how we're doing, and what potentially could be happening in the next 24 hours into the next day due to these elections, which will be the main driver of the next price action. And then also we're looking a little bit at altcoin Solana. We are going to talk about Ecomi forming new lows, going the wrong direction, and we are going to talk a little bit about Veve as well. So make sure to stay all the way through. So good morning each and everyone. I have missed Crypto Morning Coffee. I mean, I've done a afternoon stream in the on Saturday, just that it is not so much time without any updates here. But now we're back. So the family has left. I can focus on the important things, and we're back with this. Now, I see a couple of people here. Philippe, what is going on? Philippe, my rare hodler, good morning. Brandon Babcock, first thumbs up, ladies and gents, because it's finally about time for the up-only party to start. That is right. So make sure to smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, and notifications on. Mario Panayi, I hope I said that right. Good morning, brother. Good morning to you as well, and let's jump right into the action. So this is a little bit of let's say an unplanned stream, as I was not aware or not, let's say, sure if the family would leave in time to do a stream, but it all worked out, guys. Just a nice kick in the butt, and then they're out of the door. That's how it's done. Doug Closer is saying, good evening, trap them bears. Yep, that could be happening as well, as the bears are thinking that this was just a bull trap, as they are thinking since 1.5 years on every peak on a corrective move. Just as, by the way, not shitting on the bears at all in that sense, just as all moon boys are thinking in a bear market with every rebound that is happening. But yeah, it is what it is. We're in a bull market now, so bears tend to get wrecked in bull markets. Now, here are a couple of super interesting things, right? So we have the elections up, and the elections mean uncertainty until there is certainty, right? As we're saying here. So here, this article headline describes that really well. So China gears up for a big week as markets await US elections and stimulus details. So these are two things that the market is awaiting, and awaiting means really waiting, right? So let's say you in your basement have $10,000 to allocate. You're going to wait until, okay, you're a crypto degen, so you see a pullback and then you buy it anyways. But the regular investors, like, okay, let's see how the US votes, and then let's see who is going to be president, and let's see if that's bullish or bearish for my investments, right? So this is happening. Omeprazole also here, good morning. So the size of China's highly anticipated stimulus plan will likely depend on the outcome of the US presidential election, analysts say. So this also means that Chinese lawmaker or the Chinese central bank policymakers, they're looking like politics, the big, like how do you say this, like communist party leadership, so and so on. They're looking to the US also to make their decisions, right? So this is how impactful it is whether Kamala or Trump are going to win. And the world is looking at it and then acts accordingly, as well as Wall Street and all the other investors are doing the same. So that is that. So we will see a lot of turmoil depending on what's happening. And in other news, or in the same news maybe, Berkshire Hathaway is now sitting at a cash fortress of 300 billion as Buffett sells more stocks and freezes buybacks. Now, what does Buffett know or think to know? Or is he just gearing up for whether one or the other outcome and then allocating in one or the other investments depending on that outcome, right? Or is he buying, is he freeing up cash to buy Bitcoin, right? Probably not, because he and Charlie Munger, they were always against Bitcoin, but they own Bitcoin miners and also shares in banks that support Bitcoin. So I think they have stakes in, I'm not sure if it's Marathon or Riot or something, but they for sure have some stakes in a bank that offers Bitcoin stuff. So, and with they, I mean Berkshire Hathaway, right? Because Charlie Munger's already gone. But that is it, right, for the elections. Meanwhile, we closed, and we're coming back to the election topic in a second, but meanwhile, we closed the October with 81,000 Bitcoin bought, where only 13,950 were mined in October. So there is about 7 times more Bitcoin bought and absorbed than there is mined. So obviously we are looking towards a price pump, a supply crash. So the squeeze is going to be real. And if everyone buys at the same time into these low numbers after the elections, because for example Trump wins, that could lead to a massive pump that is actually not factored in. GM, present, listening and driving now, liked by the way, thanks Green Lantern, always present. This guy doesn't miss anything. So thank you for smashing the like. All others that have just joined, please smash the like button as well for this morning show, so to say. And let's talk a little bit about this once again, because do not get scared if the in your eyes wrong party wins, right? We have everyone, like we have people that support Kamala, we have people that support Trump in the US, everywhere around the world, who knows, right? Don't fret, because they all have to print money. We talked about this before. On average per term, these people, they are the president, the government, it doesn't matter, they are printing money. Even if they are saying they're not, they have to, because otherwise they have to default, and no president will want to default, because they would go into history down for the sins of everyone before. So that's definitely not happening. Then also, where's my other chart? Where's my other chart with the election? Where is that? Oh, there it is. Here. So that was planned for before. So this is where we are right now, right? This is where all cycles were before. You see the similarities on US elections. 2 cycles were above. The 2017 cycle, though, actually was below that in terms of, I think that's a return on investment performance here. So the 2017 was slower, and maybe we're just going to be in between here. and following an average of all of these cycles. That could be happening. Who knows? That doesn't mean that we cannot have a small pullback here or something like that. But so far, we are on average. 1 day left. This is the US elections. And what happens after US elections? Well, as Brandon just said, the up-only party, the banana zone, would be starting, right? So you see that in 12 to 13, actually, after that, there was a couple of weeks and months flatlining, whereas in the 2020 cycle, we just went ballistic. And for the other, like for the 16, 17 cycle, it was just a little bit more choppy sideways, but only like up, right? You have pullbacks though along the way for all of these, right? No matter what you're looking at, you basically have pullbacks along the way. Normal, right? Don't fret if we get a pump and into a pullback, into whatever, right? Short term, it doesn't matter. They all have to print money. Bitcoin is a function that protects you against this debasement, global debasement, right? Everyone is going to print money after the US elections in the world, because they all have to print their crises away and to simulate GDP growth and to simulate better times. Because if no better times, then riot in the streets. No government wants that. Chris Thomas, good morning. Hey, how are you doing? And also energy, what is going on? Hey, how are the Pokemon TCG polls going? I've been a little bit addicted over the last days to opening packs. So far, so good. Also, this is another interesting chart, though it's not really showing any election or cycle comparisons. It shows our cycle and the past cycle, and the Bitcoin predictions that different people that are famous have made. So basically, Mark Yusko is more like end of the year or by 2025 we're going to hit 150k. Peter Brandt actually is the one that has our exact prediction, 135k by September 2025. That is also my prediction. So this would be here. That would also be the only thing that looks coherent except the long terms. Then we have 250k from Tim Draper. That's very steep curve, but why not? It can happen. Then we have some out of space theories like Robert Kiyosaki, 500,000, and then Arthur Hayes, 750k by 2026, which is the end of the would be the end of the bull market already. But also Robert Kiyosaki, this would be like almost a 10x. This would be like an 8x. Plan B, 400k by 2026 also, right? So yeah, and then we have the longer term ones. Mike Novogratz with 500,000 by 2028, which is weird, right? This would be the start of the next bull market. And then Cathy Wood with 1 million by 2030, as well as Michael Saylor with 13 million by 2045, and Winklevoss is predicting only 500k by 2030. But I could see that actually in the realm of the realistic. So I would say this, like the 135k, is very realistic. The 500k by 28 and the 500k by 2030, that's both realistic. And then we have a little bit more, but who knows? We will see. It all comes down how hard the money printer goes. Brandon says, yep, global liquidity far greater than president, but one president helps open up regulation, allowing alts, DeFi, NFTs, digital collectibles to thrive. You're helping educate people to the hidden secrets of the game. Yo, thank you very much for that one. And I agree with you. The one presidential choice would be way better for altcoins than the others, as the SEC probably also gets a little bit of a replacement regulation would be way better. You see also the vice president of the specific candidate is heavily in alts and NFTs. So obviously we are hoping for that outcome that is better for the crypto space, but it doesn't mean that if it goes the other way that crypto is dead, gone forever, and so on, right? I mean, we will see a shock, but yeah, we would have another 4 years of a very hard time, maybe even unrealized gains tax and so on, so really nasty stuff. So we will see. Hey Chris, what's going on? Bringing the stickers to the channel. Floki, Bitcoin, PogChamp. Yeah. More or so. Here is another one that they have not brought in terms of the predictions. Again, Vanek. I mean, we're looking at Vanek once a week at least, but here's 30 seconds of bullishness just into the election. So let's see that.
Very soon.
We have a model that assumes that by 2050, this is very long term, that Bitcoin becomes a reserve asset that's used in global trade and held by global central banks at a very modest 2% weight. And in that model, we arrive at a $3 million price target for Bitcoin. Now, that sounds, extreme, but that's a 16% compound annual growth rate for a couple decades. That's not really that extreme. So into the millions over the medium term is a high conviction call.
So this is interesting, right? So the analysis, so 2050, that's, what is that, 26 years from now or something like that, 25 years from now, if you consider this year to be gone. Actually, 16% compound annual growth over those decades is not unrealistic if you consider that at the moment Bitcoin is at about 40% annual growth rate. So we will see how this plays out over this next cycle. But considering that we have now a lot of gains still in front of us, and then from there you go for another 4 cycles or so, that is actually possible. So the question is then, if Bitcoin hits or if Bitcoin could hit 3 million by 2050, I would even say it could be hitting that sooner, just because of the inflation and the adoption. Like, you have both, right? And if you have a hidden inflation of 5-6% or so, you have already done a lot in the nominal CAGR, right? So the other side is adoption, right? And if you consider we are sitting at 1.2 trillion market cap for Bitcoin, and you just say, okay, across the next 10 years adoption like gold, that already would be a 10x. So you're already at 600k just from adoption, plus 5%. Let's do 5 to 8% hidden inflation. That is factored in. Let's not even talk about like more extreme inflation because of money printing and so on. Like you're easily approaching 1 million after two to 3 cycles, right? And then you're not in 2050. So that's a ridiculously low. This is conservative prediction in the sense that what if Bitcoin gets adopted as more of a reserve or store of value by more people? Like, you're looking at 400 trillion, is it? Yeah, I think it's 400 trillion in bonds, government bonds, something like that. Worldwide, I mean, not only US, something like that, right? Like in hundreds of trillions. If that comes, Bitcoin does 100x. That would be crazy, right? But we will see. Excuse me here. I had to mute that one for you guys not to die. But okay. Actually, it's Binance. That is right. It's actually Binance. And Duck the Duck is doing very well. I hear this meme could become Trump's mascot. Says Mario Panay. It could, but I would look for the squirrel that died. If Harris wins, prepare for more war. Yeah, Yep. That is so. Okay. Looking at the Bitcoin price, we had a lot of news, but no price action yet. The Bitcoin price, impulse move, correction, bounce, right? Doesn't really look bearish to me, but of course, bear saying hello on my channel. Overall, there's a broader, this is the 4-hour chart, but there's a broader uptrend visible here, right? If you would just overlay a line like this, like you see this, like you are coming back to this once in a while. Could you go like this? Yeah, maybe. So this is an uptrend, clearly going from the bottom of the previous bull flag. Feels bad, man, squirrel, absolutely. But eating some peanuts in remembering the squirrel. Peanut the squirrel. Overall, like, let's look at the weekly directly. Let's not even, so what we have, and this is bullish, right? Even though everyone's this is really good. Like, you have, look at this. You have this massive breakout of this bull flag, right? You have a flag with upwards curving. You have taken out a lot of shorts and so on. You are looking at a green week already here as a follow-up. Everything bullish, right? But on this, everyone is bearish. Everyone is bearish. So if there's any good outcome of the elections, probably everyone gets super bullish and starting this mega move. Also, look at this. We are just having our, so if we, obviously this is weekly, so we need the weekly close first. But if we would close like this on the weekly, we would have a weekly bullish stochastic RSI cross. Last time, sorry, not stochastic, TSI cross. Last time we did do that, we had 100, here is the last cross. We had 173% pump last time. So this time, let's say we get 100% pump, this would bring us to 140K. This is crazy. So obviously it's not guaranteed that we have exactly 100% pump, but the move always on a weekly cross, or also a MACD cross, right? The MACD cross is already through. The move is massive. Both indicators are flashing a massive move. So we will see, obviously, if this gets shattered, this cross gets shattered by the outcome. But it's looking very bullish at the moment, right? So we could also look for the weekly stochastic RSI, which we didn't look at for a while. So the stochastic RSI is still pointing upwards, and the upwards move is still supported until we reach the 100 level right here, and then the sideways. But the upwards momentum is active until you have this cross going on. So you could also have upwards momentum like this, then flatten out, and then cross down. Excuse me. We would, and this is important, let's just say this happens, right? We would be already in the first half of, more to the end of first half of 2025. And we will have to look at this closely, because the cross means a massive move to the downside, right? Doesn't mean the end of the bull. This is something to determine with others, but it could be. So you have these both lines are coming up, right, until they go straight on the 100 level, like this. And then at some point on the weekly, you will have a cross down where it goes like this. And then for confirmation, you enter this zone, right? Because you can also hover. So everything outside the zone can be a fake out. So this is more or less how it looks. So you have this cross down here, would be May, maybe June, or whatever, how long this takes, right? So you see here also, this happens frequently. On the monthly, though, it will be a little bit more, let's go to the monthly, a little bit more interesting from a cycle perspective. Also, you see here that we are just like having a monthly bounce, right? On the monthly, it would be just a bounce if it's like this. Maybe we turn to green candle, who knows? So on the monthly, there's something super interesting going on. Let's quickly get rid of this. we have a stochastic RSI cross on the weekly, right? And this is probably the most bullish that you can have, because it's just like here, just a little bit higher. But usually this is bad news, and this is our entire month-long correction in the bull flag, as well as we had here pretty bad news, which was the C crisis pandemic crash. But then at some point it recovers, and we're about to cross. I mean, we actually, if we close the month, and this is the monthly, right? If we close the month like this, we cross, right? This is not confirmed yet. Please keep in mind, there is still a whole month. But if we were to cross like this, even sideways on this level, we would cross, and then we get a whole run like this, right? So, and this, like, I mean, this is too flat. We probably get something like, let me redraw this, something like this, right? Where you can't, and then you go like this, and then cross, whatever, right? So that would bring us into the end of 2025, beginning, if it looked like this, right? So a bull cross on the stochastic RSI is highly, highly, highly desired, right? So this was a little bit on the fly, but I hope it brought some perspective to you. So also the TSI is looking great, right? There's no end of bull market in sight, as well as the MACD looking bullish, no end of the bull market in sight. So we're really looking good. Excuse me, guys, for the cough. It's a little bit nasty, but okay. Let's see. 2 Pokemon TGCP. Yes, it is very tempting to buy Pokegold. Just try hold me back. At Veve, I don't buy it that much anymore. I already have a well-filled bag. Crypto, I just have too little, but buy more now. It's anyway too late for the current run. I don't think so. So altcoins, I don't think it's too late. Just needs to purchase the correct ones. Subfam stack is king. Stacks block NFTs on stacks are minting now fire. Ricardo Sofriti says, hey patient, do you think Ecomi team and shareholders should burn a fraction of their OMI? It seems a bit excessive, 300 billion in circulation. I agree with you. I think they should. I think this would turn things maybe even around. If maybe they even should burn almost all of it, like 90% or so. Like, for example, David Yu has 1 billion OMI tokens. Looking at Ecomi while you're saying it, Nakamoto blocks on Gamma, okay. While you're saying it, so we observed for a longer time this wedge here, right? This mega wedge. Ecomi has fallen out of it, and this is where I say, as long as I don't see a turnaround, there's no reason for me to buy, right? And now we see it's coming down to the downside, even though there's a bounce on the psychological 0003 level just before it. Imagine I had bought here, I would be down pretty bad, right? So I bought a bag and kind of regretted that I bought a bag of 4 million, but it's not much. Like 4 million is not much. 4 million OMI, although the price, my entry price was pretty high. Like a 0018 or so is my average, so it's still down like 80%. Yeah. Oh, David and Dan have 60 billion OMI? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I don't think they have 60 billion. I think, yeah. Time in is bigger than timing. That may be true, but also it helps me to look at where I can see the sign of strength in OMI and avoid that I allocate my capital right now. So I would agree with you for Bitcoin that time in the market is bigger than timing. But for OMI, I am looking for something happening which justifies that I buy more OMI. But at the moment, I don't see this. So we could definitely break 0003 and go even lower. At some point, maybe OMI turns into a small cap, really small cap. Like I think it's already sub 100 million. It's only placed 450 on CoinGecko. Yeah. When Vivi do music NFT, they already have. Like they already have brought some music NFTs, but nothing like too crazy. I mean, the Blackpink is from the music vertical. The Ron English stuff, I think, is playable. So they already have that. To get AR15 SR now, you mean AF15, right? AF15 now, I doubt it will go anywhere. You got that one? Yeah. So I think the action at the moment, if any, is on Vivi. Let's check out quickly the latest developments. So there are some, like someone's buying partner statues. You see us here, like different people, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 partner statue sales in the past. Not too much though. And then here is the 6th one in the last 5 days. 6 partner statues, so like 1 trade per day. Yeah. Someone bought the floor of this. Now it's 500,000 of this Tarzan comic. I don't know. I personally am not stacking this, but some people are somehow. Yeah, so that is that. And then for the user numbers for Vivi, they are climbing, which is also good. Like Vivi is getting some people. In the past days, that is, what is that? Like 26 since October 28th, since the end of the month, October more or less, 26 new people. Do you have partner statue? I don't have a partner statue. You think I should dump it now? What do you mean? Like Ecomi, Vivi? I personally won't. I just don't buy more until I see a turnaround. But you see here, right? I don't buy more OMI here when it's in price discovery, right? When it's in price discovery to the downside. I mean, I was believing, or I was thinking, to be honest, that when this was forming, right, this here, until here, I was believing that this is a massive base and that probably we are going to break out and form something like this, right? This would be an incredibly bullish chart. And I think many other people also thought that. But now that we have lost every support along the way and are in price discovery, there's no reason for me to buy until I see something of a new bottom forming or something like that, right? So, yeah, we'll see. Ricardo Sofriti says, I'm down 90%, but I truly don't care. Vivi carries lots of IPs with tons of responsibilities. Once clarity will be established from SEC, we potentially can see good growth. I think that's true for the Vivi collectibles, but not so sure about the token, to be honest, at the moment. Do you have, yes, these fake listings always annoy me. Always have to list a counter offer to get my normal vault value. Yeah, it's not a fake listing. I mean, some people really just want to show it and then put a high price on it. Yeah. But that is that. Yeah, so maybe a quick, no, I closed the OMI chat, but doesn't matter. Maybe a quick look on Vivi here as what's going on with Vivi. So there are scam mails coming out. Be very careful. There are scam mails coming out to scam you on Vivi or something like that, or to make you connect any wallets. So that is pretty bad. So don't react to any mails that don't look absolutely official and are coming from the right address. Web3V says, that's like saying McDonald's toys will blow up one day. No, they are promotional. That's not true. I would say, so listen, look at this. Did you see any McDonald's toy that has like a $3,500 floor in a bear market? And then also, this one has a transparent. This one has only 1,000 editions. It has transparent data. and it's official IP. I don't know. So why isn't, like, I'm not saying, oh, this is guaranteed making you rich, right? That's not true. This could end up in zero, right? This could go to zero over time. Of course it can, but it also can do really well once people are buying these and using all of these collectibles in whatever, like a metaverse showroom and so on that they've just presented. So there's a chance that this does well in another NFT cycle. Whereas if the token gets abandoned for regulatory reasons, or let's say Stacker fails to implement, that's a different story, right? Do you still buy a lot at Vivi? No, I don't buy a lot. I buy here and there something, but not much. We will see. Yeah, but that's from the NFT buzz. I don't know. Hope so. Yeah, I mean, in the end, everything has. We saw that also during the pandemic on Pokemon, right? So there were, if you look at the charts on the physical items of almost everything, you see that everything was in a hype cycle. So also for Pokemon cards, this hype cycle, it comes and goes, right? It doesn't mean that like a first edition Shadowless Charizard is going to go in lower in value, but overall, like the newer ones and so on, they're going up and down in value, also with liquidity cycles. I mean, here it only comes down to whether Vivi does well or doesn't well in the future, right? And if they do, and they can place themselves in an NFT narrative, they can have another hype cycle. David get Pennywise and Breaking Bad. Wow, let's go. Yeah, so I think, so this is always, like, people want a definitive call on whether something will do well or not, right? And this, in this space, is extremely risky. The funny thing is, no one complains about the performance of Terra Luna because it's certainly dead, right? No one cares anymore. Everything made their peace. But with projects like Vivi, where the prices are low at the moment, fairly low, not too low, but fairly low, and user growth is not as rampant as it was in a bull market, everyone's like going crazy because the certainty is not there that it's dead. So no one knows exactly what's going to happen. But this is also the bet that you take in this place, right? You bet on an altcoin, you bet on an NFT project, you bet on a collectible, and with this extremely high risk that it is, I mean, the likelihood is very high that we're going to lose all of our money, right? Or at least a bigger amount of money. The likelihood is very high. But that's the only chance of getting these massively high returns, right? So to predict the downfall of this is always an easy one, right? Because all of these projects have a very high likelihood to fail and go to zero. We saw it, Recur. Had anyone predicted like the Recur is going to zero? Here it is. It's at zero now. Or that HRO is going to go out of business. Well, here it is, end of life. HRO is going out of business. Or if you would say Quid is going to quit, right? Well, here it is. Quid already quit and they're gone, right? But Vivi is still here. So the bet on Vivi at the moment, or on certain Vivi collectibles, is going better than the bet on Recur passes, Quid collectibles, and so on, right? I don't know how Disney Pinnacles are doing, like these pins. I don't know how they're doing, or NFT Top Shots or whatever, or and so on. But the bet is always that. That's the thing. You can't expect 100x returns and at the same time be secure with your investment. If you want high returns, then just buy Bitcoin, right? Relatively high returns. Wait 20. If you have 20 years to wait, not everyone has 20 years to wait, right? Then yeah. So we see they paid Afrikaan to lie. Who knows if that's so? Everyone had hopes of Afrikaan bringing Pokemon to Vivi, but it seems he was in it for a fast buck. Yeah, I don't know what Afrikaan exactly did. Maybe he also had good connections to other licensors. I don't know. or he was an advisor on how to set up collectible style. I don't know. So they had Afrikaan on Spaces. I'm pretty sure that if Sentiment comes around in the bowl, they will bring back Afrikaan to the space. But yeah. Brandon Babcock says, I see more downside in Omi until Weverse is fully released and Stacker confirms all IP being available. Biggest things are digital collectible narrative hitting, will hit late if it does, and Coinbase listing. I think that that is very, very true. So the exchange listings have become even harder now. Now that also it's like, what is really crazy is like, where's the Ecomi channel? Like, let's check out what the Ecomi community manager is doing, right? So here is the let's see, Stacker, the premium digital collectible marketplace, now live for public testing. Okay, so we're now 4th of 11. The last post is from NYCC and is a Veve related one. And this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't really expect new people to find the token if you're not posting a roadmap and daily updates and raffles and I don't know what. Like, you have to have traffic, right? You can't really expect this to do well. I don't know if they're waiting until there's a turnaround in dominance or so. But you can't expect this to do well. And this is something that I really want to see, right? So together with the really nasty chart, I also want to see the Ecomi channel doing something, right? Because if you're researching coins, you're looking at that, right? So yeah, I think the token has really taken a hit with that whole thing of not integrating it directly into the app. So a lot of things have changed. And now we have to see how we allocate. I mean, a couple of people have said goodbye and very early at 002, sold their bags and moved on, which from today's standpoint probably was the right decision if you want to take all other chances in the crypto space. Does it mean Ecomi can't come back? No, it doesn't. But I wouldn't put... again, it's one of these big risks, and the hype pump was already in the last cycle, right? Very early, like just after listing, it dumped and never came back to its all-time high, right? It pumped, dumped, and then it never came back. So now we will see how it's doing. I mean, now Dr. Profit has to develop this. I mean, he's sitting on big bags. He has to already for himself, he has to turn around the whole thing, right? So his bag can go up. But at the moment, it looks like price discovery to the downside, and we will see where it ends up. Yeah. So yeah, we will see. The narrative has to come back, and the narrative will only come back if Bitcoin dominance turns around, and it doesn't. It's at 60.5% already. So Bitcoin is really strong at the moment. And all altcoins, they are getting wrecked. So I don't think it's too late to buy altcoins, but once it turns around, it will be massive. Last time we had a little bit more reddish here, we already saw altcoins going nuts. What we need to see is a pullback and then shattering through all resistances. And as long as this is not happening, nothing's coming. They paid Dr. Profit to lie. Also not really provable, right? So again, you have to bring some evidence then to support such claims. Otherwise, we can say everything, right, on this channel, and then why would we have even the channel, right? But okay, so for today. That is it, guys. Make sure to smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and let me know in the comments below if you watch this later what you think about all of this. It sucks, I know, like especially the OMI stuff sucks. Bitcoin is looking fine, and we're going to keep our finger very closely at the pulse and yeah, wherever you are on the world, have this great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And I catch you in the next live stream video or whatever I'm putting out. See you soon. Bye.